Hey, everybody! Welcome to Geeks and Rebels. Sorry if I seem flustered and or a little annoyed because, god damn it,
He's flustered. I'm more of like I just washed my hands of this whole thing because we're gonna have to redo. We're gonna have to think of something else.
I don't know, but every time we try to mess with the mics, it's just like no.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go back to the blackboard for the microphones.
I mean,
but
I know the laptop microphone works, as we know, it works well, but I can't even like get mad right because
yeah. So we have been dealing with some issues with our microphones, and if any one of you are experts, we have a microphone set up.
I think Jarek is probably a good expert, but I keep forgetting to.
I think we should send him a quick email or something.
Oh, I told him he can. If he said he's got his like recording stuff, he can come, but all he has to do is just come here to do it.
So, with all that frustration out the way, I think this is another. What episode are we on?
I think we're on 9.
Well, this is episode 9 of Geeks and Rebels.
I think I know it's been a minute since
welcome.
I know it's been like maybe a week or so since we put a video up.
Yeah,
we were supposed to do other stuff, but life got in the way.
Yeah, a little bit of a lifetime. I
was supposed to go see Detective Pikachu and then talk about it on Thursday or last Thursday, but we ended up just staying and watching Deadpool 2.
You know what though? I watched Deadpool 2 as well, and I it's so funny that you talk. We could talk about that, dude. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it was great. Juliana apparently hadn't seen Deadpool 2 until
I think the world needs to see Deadpool 2. It is the most funniest movie in the world.
My little brother hasn't even seen it, and he's seen every Marvel movie so far. And I keep trying to get him to watch it with me, but he's just being like difficult. He's being a teenager.
Yeah. As far as what I've been doing, excuse me, I watched the last episode of Game of Thrones, which I understand it, but at the same time, I'm like everybody else. I'm highly disappointed about the ending, but I mean, what are you gonna do? It's over.
It's in the books.
It's how they wrote it. It's how they're gonna end up. How they ended the scripts and everything. And there goes another checkmarked successful.
You think they'll do a spinoff?
Yeah, they have spinoffs. They already have spinoffs like for it. Like they're gonna do.
What's that one girl's name? Yeah, that ninja girl. Everybody was so hyped about when she like showed up behind him and cut him.
Arya.
Yeah, there you go. I'm sorry, I don't really watch Game of Thrones, so I'm not sure.
There's a couple ninja girls. I mean, there's like 2 or 3 of them. But
like I hear like a lot of people just like start dying at the end of like characters. It was like watching like I don't really watch this either. But it was like watching The Walking Dead. You never know who's going to survive and who is.
Hell yeah. Primarily, if you weren't somebody that wasn't going through shit or like was getting shit thrown on you or dealing with something, and your time was coming around, like they would kill you, or they would kill you, or if you would know something important, they'd kill you. Like that's how basically everything goes. There was just people that were just getting killed just to get killed. That's it. It was one season. Like they just killed the whole family off, and I was like, "What?"
Bran the Broken sits on the Iron Throne.
Yeah, Bran.
He can't even feel the throne.
That's the one character it was like, what a fucking curveball.
Like the kid that got pushed out of a window in like the first episode is the one that's sitting on the friggin' throne.
And I didn't even know it. And I always thought it was gonna be Jon Snow.
Everybody wanted it to be Jon Snow.
Everybody wanted
it was either him or
Jon Snow, but to people that watch the show, it was that Jon didn't want the throne. Jon didn't want to be king. He just wanted to live his life. And I respect that, and I understand it. I mean, the dude practically went through hell for the kingdom, or practically went through hell to protect all of humanity, and humanity thanked him by fucking banning him away from the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah.
And then told him, go and be with your wildlings. That's the people that's the true King of the North is Jon Snow, and he'll end up being the King of the North, but more north than you would think. So, yeah. As of right now, the Game of Thrones, like I'm like so dead. I'm like, dude, it's dead. Keep it dead. I'm like, just I don't want to hear anything about it anymore.
There's a video I watched where it was talking about like where everybody went at the end, but they made it like the Office type ending where it was like and Arya went off to a different land to become their king over there. It was like, excuse what? It was like slow, and it was like her on a boat, and it was like showing her pan off, and it freeze framed, and it did like little words come like, you know how you watch like a documentary movie. It was like, you see like Malcolm X was killed at this point. And it will say something like that.
Arya died on some random place, some random time. I honestly think though, I mean, you know, Sansa became queen. Arya looks like she became like a drifter / pirate / explorer, whatever you want to give it, whatever slashes you want to end up giving her. She ended up going and exploring, and I honestly think that the ending for all three of them was the best. The ending for Daenerys, I think, I kind of see how it ended.
How did her dragons die? Or did her dragons die?
One dragon died. Holy crap! I forgot how the first dragon. No, the first dragon died because the Night King threw a spear in.
Yeah. Why did I know that? Like I was like, I feel like he got killed by a spear.
He threw an undying spear at her at the thing, and it bled out real bad. The second one died. And everybody in the world hated how the second one died because it was like the worst plot death ever. I don't want to say plot death, but it was like the worst ever like death of the animal ever. Like the guy shot, like I think it was Euron or one of the bad guys of the Greyjoys, shoots a fucking spear. Or like a ballista spear that shoots from the boat, like thousands of fucking meters up into the air. And this is like a ballista can only shoot 100 meters. And I'm just saying, like, bro, like that doesn't make any sense. And you fucking get it right then and there, like you hit it, and then it falls into the ocean. And then her third one doesn't die. Her third one actually saves the whole fucking. The third one actually destroys everything. Like it. Is
that the one that was like burning everything at the end, like in the trailers and stuff? They were showing her walking.
Yeah,
it's just like the one.
Yeah, what happens is the second before last episode, she fucking destroys all of Westeros with her dragon. She burns it all. She got pissed off at Cersei. She got pissed off at everything, and she does this thing where she calls I'm gonna break the wheel, or break the circle of whatever, and so she kills everybody, and Cersei dies within everything. Like Cersei dies within all that destruction. And last episode, you see the dragon after Jon Snow stabs Daenerys. Spoiler alert, that happens. So I don't care anymore. You guys have millions of days to watch whatever the last episode, what they want to put out. So Jon stabs her. The dragon comes up, sees that she's dead. Jon is sitting in front of the dragon, waiting for the dragon to eat him. But the dragon, instead of eating him, sees the Iron Throne and burns the Iron Throne, because that was like the last of the curse that was a part of their family or whatever it was. Because the Iron Throne was made from molten, like was 1,000 of Aegon's swords of fallen soldiers that he's killed, that was melted with dragon fire together, and it seems to be like a bad luck charm for whoever sat on it, because as soon as she touched that Iron Throne, she died. Dude, it was like worse.
I heard that like she got mad at Jon Snow because he wouldn't fuck her or something like that.
Yeah,
isn't that like his sister?
That's his aunt. They played it as his aunt. I wanted to think of it. Why did they make it her sister?
Why? Like, so what?
We're sister and brothers.
Because
throwing up everywhere.
It's funny too because the whole brand of fucking broken became broken because he caught two brother sister fucking, and he got pushed off of fucking
the tower. That's what I was saying. Like this whole, I should have never got into Game of Thrones. As far as like, I personally should have never got into it because it was good, but it should have continued on as like the seasons, like as far as how many, like 10 episodes a season. They should have finished with 10 episodes. It didn't make sense for them to cut it in half and 6.
It's a weird.
It's a weird way to finish a season or anything, series. Or a series.
Yeah, because Arrow's in their series ended. Maybe it's just me because Green Arrow's my favorite superhero, but I didn't like. Well, it didn't really end because it still got one more season. But he basically said, "I'm done. I'm not being Green Arrow anymore." Like, but you still got another season.
Exactly. They were just like, I don't want to ride these dragons or be a sword-toting badass through the like.
I just want to stop now. Like,
yeah,
that's how.
Like, would have been cool is if the season before, like season 8, if they actually had the war in like the last fucking episode, would have been the episode for like the episode that was they were fighting the Night King. Like they killed the Night King on the last episode of season 8. And they paid attention more on season 9 on trying to destroy Cersei and everything. That would have made more sense. I would have enjoyed watching the whole show if you would have done it like that. It would have made more sense. I would have been more invested, and I would have understood the plot and how they lost the second dragon. I would have thought that they would have put more attention to that, on how you're gonna lose the second dragon, instead of let me shoot a fucking arrow and then it fucking plummets down and that's how it dies. It's like the dragon doesn't have legs, it can't catch the motherfucker.
There's I just had it too. My brother sent me a text and I just saw it, completely forgot it. Sorry. Dang, Brandon, you screwed me on that one. There's so what? Oh, the Night King, or was it the Night King, that ice-looking dude?
Yeah, the Night King.
I heard that episode. Like, I saw the pictures, but like, was it really all so dark that you could barely see anything?
Yeah, it was, dude. They said they had to do those whole episodes from the beginning of the season to that third episode where the Night War, I think it would be called, where they had to like literally wait until nighttime to film everything.
Like, so they purposely went to like where it was like unwatchable. They went there. They purposely made it unwatchable.
It was literally so dark that in points of the episodes you see like Giant's Bane swinging his axe around.
Yeah,
you see him swing his axe around like trying to kill. It felt like that was if you're watching the episode feels like a roller coaster, and then it felt like that roller coaster crashed into a fucking like pond or something, and then you were fucking getting drowned in it. Like it just because there was so much dead people that they were fighting, and at a point where like they were keeping the dead away from them, and it just bodies kept piling up, and it looked like they were just they were drowning in dead bodies.
There's a that's just I don't know.
You're speechless. Like, you're speechless as much as I am.
Like I just like so I know HBO. Once Game of Thrones ends, HBO's next big show is supposed to be Watchmen.
I don't think that's going to go anywhere. Honestly.
I think so. It's going to be good. It's going to be when they had just started the Watchmen, I believe. So
okay.
Like they're not going to be like right after the the way the movies.
How are they going to do Dr. Manhattan?
He's probably just going to be like a side character. I doubt they will have him in there like as a full character.
That's like the dude is made from like pure plasma or pure.
You just literally probably be a blue man group.
He's just like you're vaporized.
Like I think this is going to be before Dr. Manhattan joins them.
Oh, okay.
Because I know he joins them a little later.
So like
it's gonna be like their first iteration where it's like,
so they got they got a few episodes. They got like this thing called Euphoria, which is like this. I thought it was so stupid. I thought it was the stupidest thing. It has that girl from Spider-Man: Far From Home. It's Eldana or Ziana or Ziana.
What you talking about?
The girl that Peter. Yeah, she's in it, and she's in this thing called Euphoria, and it's like these kids going out to party and they take drugs and all this stuff, and it's like it looks stupid as hell. Like I thought it was just like if I want to watch a show that kids are doing drugs in, I'm like, I don't want to watch a documentary of kids actually doing drugs on the street with other crackheads. I sound so cynical right now, but it's just the truth. It looks so dumb. They made it look popish, and I was like, no. But The Watchmen, it does look interesting, but at the same time, I was like, don't look like it's gonna go far. But I was just like, it doesn't look. I was like,
Oh no. Oh, sorry, text message. But she just tried to send my nephew down here.
So, what else? I thought, they are doing a Game of Thrones spinoff. You know what they're going to do it up? They're going to do it before the actual Game of Thrones that you saw. So it'll be about the Targaryens, on how they took over, and then how they lost, and then how Robert Baratheon took a hold of the kingdoms, and then it'll end from there. And that'll be the whole of the Game of Thrones after I think they finish the prequels. After they finish that prequel with the Targaryen family rise and then demise, and then the rise of Robert Baratheon, then you'll see obviously the regular Game of Thrones comes into play with all that. So it'll be a whole new cast and everything, because you'll need a young Ed Stark, you'll need a young Robert Baratheon, a young Hound, a young Mountain, and practically all the whole kingdom, 7 kingdoms, all the young people, and then the Targaryens, the whole Targaryen family, will get a whole young crew and everything.
I actually like seeing shows where it's like a spin-off of their children. Like as much as everybody hates on like Boruto, because it's Naruto's son, and there's no real actual like threat, because they feel like most of Boruto is just a spin-off. But like when you have a show, it's like I
actually thought Boruto was a little better than Naruto.
No, when it comes to the action scenes, Naruto is much better, because it feels like things are more life and death in Naruto than Boruto. Boruto seems more like they're trying to make it more of a comedy, because they don't like all the good stuff that you see in Boruto is from the manga, which is like 10% of the show. And in Boruto, most of it is literally filler, because the manga takes like 2 months before they release another chapter.
Oh, so they're trying to fill in time before the next.
They barely just got past the part where Naruto and Sasuke defeated Momoshiki. Well, Boruto got the little curse thing with the diamond on his hand. Not the curse, is the curse.
Wouldn't that make it, because people were talking about how that would make him like a little bit stronger than Naruto.
It would give him a power that he doesn't have, like how Naruto has the nine-tailed fox. Naruto would have like that power of like a god or something. That's
what they were saying. Like there was a few characters on Boruto, and I like how we kind of just went for Boruto, the Game of Thrones to Boruto. But they said the people that defeat those gods, they become gods themselves, and then they fight each other.
Yeah, but the other guy, Kawaki, like the guy they showed at the beginning of the series where that Boruto was fighting, he was, that power was forced onto him. He didn't actually defeat a god.
So he is like a god himself.
Yeah, like no, he got that power forced on him. Like there's a group called Kara that experimented on him to get that diamond on his hand. Like it's just the same thing as as Boruto's hand. He has Boruto has the diamond on his right, and Kawaki has it on his left. And but supposedly there's supposed to be one car, and apparently there's a third one actually, because the leader of the car apparently has it too, which they're trying to capture.
They're like the new, what was it, Akatsuki?
Yeah, they're kind of like the new Akatsuki. Although people have some like suspicions as to who one of the members are, because in the show, so the show is basically like more modern day, because Naruto is more like, if you think about it, more based on like maybe like
old school, because they were like, now they got elevators and computers now.
Yeah, like they had some of that stuff. They had high tech. I remember there was an episode where Kakashi and they were using like microphones and speakers and stuff like that when they were trying to communicate. But there was like it was far and few between. But now they have it all over. Like they like talk to each other through like headsets and stuff like that. And this one is built more off of like artificial creations. Like they got like there's a guy Io from the Hit and Miss. He was a former Hit and Miss guy who had a stolen Byakugan. He gets like a mini gun that shoots out like minigun fucking like bullets like that chopper. I think they're bullets or shuriken or whatever. But he gets like this little minigun. He's just like shooting that. And he's got like a laser sword. Boruto gets like this. Like he doesn't really get it, but he uses like a beam sword that looks like a lightsaber. And that uses his chakra.
Oh my god!
It's pretty, and it's actually rather.
So they're trying to modernize, sort of like a Naruto Boruto.
Yeah, they're trying to make it more modern, and like they're basically, there's a guy in there. I think his name is like I can't remember his name. Well, I just had it. Now I can't remember it. But there's a guy who they said that you can't enter the Leaf Village unauthorized, or else like the sensory ninjas would detect you. Like the only people that are allowed to walk in there without being like detected or whatever are people who are actually allowed to be in the Leaf Village, like to have with their bodies identity is identified as like allowed to be in there like without any like extra permission or whatever. So this guy just walks in there, like the girl that part of the car just kind of goes in there and like the whole thing gets like alerted. Naruto goes and fights her, but the guy that came in before her that was looking for Kawaki, he just kind of walked up in there like, I can just walk in there. So people have a suspicion. People have a suspicion that he's Jiraiya.
Get the hell out of here!
I think he might be Jiraiya. Because you know how Jiraiya died.
After all this time, Jiraiya is alive?
We don't know. He's been wearing a mask. We don't know what he looks like or not. Like he's got like this weird mask. They're saying it might be Jiraiya, but I don't know because he can use Rasengan too.
Oh, that's pretty good. Because I almost cried when I saw Jiraiya die.
But because there's another thing too. Because they said they never found Jiraiya's body when they were trying to do the reanimation jutsu.
That was true, because he did fucking float down to the bottom.
But they've been able to collect all these other dead ninja and whatnot. Like they even have the first and second, like not the first. They have all these other ninja that like kind of like were just like missing and just gone, and they just kind of brought them back using like that little seal thing where it like comes out like a coffin and they just kind of come out of there because they just get they're like little like mummy body things, and then like these paper cap wrapped around it, and then they're like alive. Yeah, and they were just doing that with everybody, but Jiraiya never came out.
That's true.
They're like, so that's why my theory is he is Jiraiya because he could easily defeat Boruto and Konohamaru and all of them. Konohamaru is a beast in Boruto too. Like he's fucking awesome.
I heard Konohamaru. Everybody wants him to be the next Hokage.
Yeah, because he's like think he has those little blade knuckle things that Asuma has because I think it's the Sarge movie clan type deal.
Yeah.
And so in, like in the opening video for the new season, they show him using them. Like he's like blocking like these dudes' attacks, and he's just like looking like blocking like with his hands like this. And
because he's a part of that.
He's part of the third Hokage's grandson.
Yeah, he was a part of their clan.
And Shikamaru's teacher was part of that clan too. And Asuma's daughter is pretty good. She's really good with genjutsu and fire. Because Asuma was really good with fire because he had the.
I heard all the older people got.
No,
some of them are fat.
Only Anko got fat.
Oh, okay.
The girl that was like had the snakes with the Orochimaru.
Yeah,
she only got fat because she kept eating with Choji's daughter.
That's funny because Choji's daughter.
But it also makes sense that she got fat though because she was being used like she was like basically just skin and bone by the time when Kabuto was using her as like a little chocolate fuel thing. Before he like released her, because like
Kabuto was a fucking asshole.
He was. I mean, he's alive still, but he's got because Itachi used that Izanagi, which makes him repeat everything over and over again until he learns the error of his ways, like physically, mentally, and emotionally. So he never could be bad again. So so now he runs an orphanage.
Oh my god.
I know that. I think Itachi just like should have taught Sasuke that move. I'm pretty sure Sasuke knows the move right now.
Yeah.
But like that move needs to be used on like everybody because clearly it used a jutsu that literally made a guy who was so evil, almost beyond redemption, to start running an orphanage for like cloned Uchihas because they're like these clone kids who look like little like sperm babies of like with fake Uchiha eyes. It looks like they're trying to rebuild the Uchiha clan using like dead Uchiha eyes. And they're like these little weird experiment. Like some are big, some are small. They're like all white.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Sasuke almost killed his own daughter because he thought she was one of them.
Wow.
And he was like, "Wait a second, you don't recognize your own kid." But she doesn't have pale ass skin like the rest of them. Like, I know you've been gone forever, Sasuke, but goddamn.
Goddamn, Sasuke.
And it's pretty cool though, because
Sasuke is the one-handed badass.
Yeah, no, like he doesn't even need both his hands. He's just blocking with a sword. And when he fought with his sword, when he was fighting Momoshiki, and his sword kind of flew up in the air, and he didn't use his feet to fight with it. I was like,
he uses Naruto's dad's fucking jutsu a lot.
No, that's actually his own jutsu. Naruto's dad's jutsu is the throwing knife thing.
Oh, okay.
Because he has a little throwing knife and it teleports him around everywhere because he's like a seal on himself, and then he teleports him to seal him there. Nice. Naruto uses that though. He's used it before. Sasuke has he has dimension hopping. His eye can hop to different dimensions. That's how he's a stealth.
Oh, that's fucking tough.
That's why he's been teleporting everywhere.
Okay, I get it now. Okay. That's tough as hell.
I wonder how they're gonna do Sarada though, because she's got to get stronger. She's gonna get the super strength from like her mom and whatnot. But she's also got to get some stronger.
Sakura, I saw her fight.
Oh, against that dude.
That dude that with all the little fucking controlling. Yeah. Bro.
She got a lot cooler.
Dude, if they don't do anything with her, I will feel so robbed.
I feel like they should have had her, like as great as that scene was when it had Sasuke and Naruto versus Momoshiki when they're like tag teaming him like straight up taijutsu, and it was just fucking badass. I feel like it would have been cool too if they had added Sakura. If she came in there, because it would have been all of Team 7, except for Kakashi. I know they probably wouldn't add Kakashi because Kakashi's retired and he's probably just out doing his thing.
Probably making those nudie fucking books.
No, he's not making those anymore because Jiraiya made those. But if Sakura was there to help like fight that dude, it would have been dope to see like all three of them like finally working as an actual legit team. Like I know they worked together when they defeated Kagura in the first in Naruto Shippuden, but I would like to see her taijutsu teaming up with Naruto and Sasuke in the middle of that fight. Would have been awesome.
But she did so good by herself to buy time.
Yeah.
It just shows how
far she's come.
How far she's come.
She could not really do anything in the first season. She didn't really have anything of her own to call her own.
I felt like I wanted to break my Xbox if I had kept watching soccer and not do anything. I was just getting
saved by everybody.
I was just gonna grab the thing and say, "God, do something, soccer!"
And you know it's kind of bad too because when we first see the most of what Hinata can do, she got her ass whooped by Neji, but we could all tell that she was fucking him up too, or she was attempting to.
Oh my god! Just I'm gonna tell anybody who starts off the Shippuden thing. Just watch. Just keep watching.
Hinata has one of the best growth as a character. Hinata.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And her and Neji, because Neji was such a dick when he started.
Dude, Neji, I feel for you, bro.
I mean, he was one of I almost cried a tear.
I did cry
because like he was one of my
he didn't deserve it.
I feel like he would have been great to be a teacher for Boruto's team. I thought he would have been Boruto's team leader.
Yeah,
that would have been cool.
That would have made definitely a lot of sense.
Or he would have been like Boruto's. Oh, he would have been. He
would have been a better like one of those black like team the Anbu Black Ops.
Yeah. Oh, he would have. He actually really good. Just for the master one, he's got his. He was a Jonin before all of the rest of his team. Which I thought
that's what I would have said if he would have went to the Anbu Black Ops. I think he would have done amazing. He would have fucking.
But his job was to protect the princess, which was Hinata.
Princess. Probably like if he would have joined the police, probably would have been.
Yeah.
Because he would have still been around, and then anything happened, he would have ran off and did his duty.
Yeah, but he died because he got a big ass tree in his chest.
Fucking trees.
Fucking. Oh man, it hurts. I was like, y'all could have killed off Kiba or something. It would have been a sad moment for Akamaru to watch him die or something. Like, y'all let Kiba live. Like, I don't mind Kiba, but I feel like it would have been better if Neji survived. But it made sense for Neji to die because he was the one that literally was bringing Hinata and Naruto together. And it's pretty cool because Hinata's sister Hanabi, I think, she trains Boruto and his sister, Boruto's sister Himawari.
Himawari who makes me laugh when she's in control.
I think she can use her Byakugan, but Boruto can't. Boruto has that one eye thing that lets him go to different dimensions too, which is cool. I wonder what the hell that can really do.
I want to know, as far as Boruto goes, when you start seeing how serious Boruto can get.
Yeah, because
as far as his powers mixing with those god powers.
Getting trained. He's got all the best masters if you think about it.
Yeah.
He's got Naruto's only student, which is his sensei, which is Konohamaru.
Well, they do, when I was talking about how as far as would they do it like Sasuke and Naruto when they had their first major fight. Remember when they were out of the Leaf Village, and it wasn't about the Leaf Village. It was about just them. It was about, hey, I'm gonna beat you up because you're my friend, and I wanted to take you back because you don't know what the hell you're doing. So are they gonna have a fight like that?
I think they had
where they awaken powers that were dormant in them that they didn't know.
So this is what I gathered from Boruto. Boruto's generation, they're prodigies, but they don't have a war to fight. So because Boruto basically has all the skills of his grandfather, which is the fourth Hokage, but Boruto, when he starts off, he's kind of lazy because everything came so naturally to him. He didn't really try, and he still doesn't really try, kind of. But it wasn't until after the Momoshiki arc where he got the giant Rasengan and finally learned how to use Rasengan naturally or the normal way, that he actually started to take things a little bit more seriously, but because he didn't, that's when he resorted to cheating and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Boruto he's already at his age. It took like most of the people at his age from Naruto's generation a long time to learn multiple elemental jutsus, because Sasuke, he could only really do fire style at one point, and then now Sasuke can do all these different lightning styles and wind styles and stuff like that. And Boruto, he can do water, lightning, and wind styles.
That's cool.
He can do those three. What's her name? Sarada can do fire, and I think she can do water as well. I think she can do fire. No, she can do fire and wind, and then Boruto's other teammate.
I saw her do fire, and I saw her do wind, so I can definitely confirm you on that.
And then their teammate Mitsuki, which is Orochimaru's son.
That's so weird, because then you bring in like Orochimaru, then that means that's like the three. Remember, like the three element, like the three Shanins or something. Yeah,
it's like bringing them back. And it's his son can already do Sage Mode, Dragon Sage Mode.
Oh shit!
That's why he did that before he even shows up to the Leaf Village, before he actually joins their school. That was like Orochimaru's training for him before he can let him decide on his own.
It seems the Leaf Village is the most lethal.
Yeah,
out of any.
The Leaf Village is like it's become multicultural. But you saw Choji's wife is black. He's like, I'm pretty sure I know why he married her, because she probably made some bomb ass fried chicken or some shit.
Dude, But I kind of like, this is what that's what I'm saying, like, I want to see Boruto get so good to the point where they're like, everybody's like, you need to watch this fight versus this fight, because it's just like, it reminds you of Naruto versus Sasuke for the first time ever.
Yeah, like they have something similar like that. Like when they had Boruto, they were bringing up something close to that when they had Boruto versus this guy from the Hidden Mist. It was like when these people were in the Hidden Mist trying to bring back the Blood Mist ninjas again, which is basically just like how the Hidden Mist would like kill off people that they like deem were too weak to be part of the Mist Village, and Boruto and them they happened to be in the village when they were trying to start that coup, and they help. And like the fight that Boruto had, which was cool because he showed the first time Boruto used his Boruto stream, which was like lightning and wind style. He starts like zipping around everywhere. You see the lightning flying around. And he almost caught the dude, but it's really good. But the best fight scene I've seen in Boruto for me was Sasuke and Naruto versus Momoshiki.
I think that
it did it much better than the movie did. Much better than the movie did.
I think that one kind of fucking. Sorry, I have some issue. Somebody telling somebody where to go. That was a great that Boruto. I think they're part of a generation of Boruto. Kind of, they're trying to bring in the younger generation and the older generation, and they're saying, "Oh well, we know you got nostalgia of Naruto, so we're going to kind of mix it in with Boruto." So bringing in a new generation, trying to make them love what the older generation had watched. Yeah. And I think it's cool. I think Boruto is a cool show. I hope they start kind of going into more of his teenager years now. Oh yeah, see how serious he kind of gets.
So, yeah, because it's going to be a minute before they can do that, because they haven't even met Kawaki yet, the guy that he's supposed to be fighting. When they showed in the first episode him fighting him, they haven't.
It's not that kid with the thing on his head in his class.
No,
it's not.
No, Kawaki he's not even part of the Leaf Village. He doesn't. Well, he doesn't join the Leaf Village yet. I think he ends up. He comes later. Like obviously he comes later because in the book he comes later.
Okay. But I'm gonna tell you right now, that's a good anime. That's a good anime now for anybody who wants to watch animes. Like, what do you think are your like a good beginner anime? Like
good beginner anime? Oh.
Like for people that come in to like this is their first time they gotta watch something.
Okay, so it probably would. Oh, it depends on the person though. I'd say Fullmetal Alchemist is the show you watch if you want to get somebody started into anime.
Yeah, you're throwing them into some advanced shit.
That's not advanced. That's what Juliana used when that was her first anime she ever watched. Oh, okay. And that was not my first anime. The first anime I ever watched was it was Sailor Moon. That's because the person who introduced me to anime, she played that first. But the one thing that got me.
You watched Sailor Moon first.
Well, it's because she put that first. I never saw it before. She just kind of put it on because she was babysitting me, and she put on Sailor Moon, and I wasn't interested in it. But then she realized, okay, I'm not interested in this, and then she put in Dragon Ball Z. I was like, this I'm interested in because it was fighting.
My first one would be Dragon Ball Z.
I would say Dragon Ball, but it takes for it's a good anime to get if you want somebody just pure. Like I said, it depends on the person. If they want just pure action, then you get Dragon Ball Z. If you want something that's going to be like psychological,
I would think pure action, because a lot of the people nowadays who don't watch anime don't understand about putting in they don't want to put in the work towards the story and towards the action. So I would say, what would be your favorite action animes for a beginner?
Oh, then it's definitely either Dragon Ball or Fullmetal Alchemist.
Okay, I mean that's respectable. I would say. Oh crap! That is Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Super would be a cool anime for everybody to watch. And I would watch because I'm watching Gangster right now. That's another anime they should watch because it's like that's a good anime.
This is an anime I would never suggest to anybody to watch. I mean, it's good after the first episode. The first episode will fuck you up mentally. Goblin Slayer.
I was looking at that. I did not know.
It will fuck you up mentally the first thing you see. The first episode will fuck you up mentally. After that, it gets better. Like when it comes to not trying to fuck your brain like it did.
What the fuck?
There's a whole rape scene in the first episode by goblins.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I read the book and I was like, are they really about to animate that? And sure enough, did. Yeah, it was bad. Those little bastards were just like fucking all the girls that were it was just God.
Okay, so stay away from Goblin Slayer if you're young.
Yeah,
if you're older,
you can watch
that. I guess.
It's violent anime, and that's what it is. But like, I don't want to see somebody get sexually assaulted. That's especially not by a goblin creature that makes the creepiest face that it made too, when it was just
that's the face is like oh God. Out.
No, its eyes just looked like it was just like pure like ecstasy. I was like, oh, I had to pause it at that point. I was like, do I want to keep watching this?
Let me just power through this episode.
That's what I did. I ended up powering through it, and I realized it's not as bad, but you still have that weird thought. Like if they did this in the first episode, they could easily bring this into like any other episode. That's why I would say if you want another good anime that is like intense but not too bad, and you can watch Rising of the Shield Hero. That's a really good one.
He just told me about that today. I'm going to try and check that out. I'm going to either try and check out a couple videos online and see how it looks. It looks pretty good.
It's a
Black Lagoon. That's another one. It's a darker anime. It's actiony. It has its drama points. It's mostly about gangsters and mercenaries and shooting up and criminals that shoot up the place, and it's pretty cool.
Now, if I was talking about if you like psychological anime and you can like watch people die a lot, then Death Note. Death Note's really
Death Note, yeah. Death Note is like it's Death Note keeps you thinking.
It really keeps you thinking like, how's he going to get out of this, or how's he going to get this planned out going through like further ahead. Like
there was one time where he was stopped by a whole bunch of people and he's like, how the heck am I going to get out of here? Fucking writes on the Death Note the whole time.
He killed an FBI agent who he didn't know his name until the last second.
Didn't he like give a heart attack for like 1,000 people or something?
Yeah, he gave like a couple people heart attacks. I don't know if it's like 1,000 people. I know he got it pretty far in there. He was handing those deaths out like they were candy.
They're like Skittles. Like, you get a death. You get a death.
It's like if he wasn't specific with how they died, then it was a heart attack. But if he was like, I want them to get run over by a bus and they get hit by a train that flew in the sky, he could easily write that.
What do you think? Well, let's get off of that because anime is anime. But in other news, Robert Pattinson is in final negotiations of being Batman. What do you think about that?
Like, I don't mind. I feel like he needs more reps on more serious roles. Because Batman's a serious kind of role character. You can't make him like Adam West Goofy Batman. Not anymore.
Like, you can't put him in tights and speedos and a cape.
He's got to wear like armor.
Just like
he can't fight like Christian Bale's Batman, because his Batman all his did was brawl. Like, he needs to be able to jump around and kick it.
I told people that, and everybody sat there. Everybody who heard me sat there and says, "No, Christian Bale's." No, I'm like, dude, Christian Bale was a brawler.
It wasn't
Ben Affleck was a badass fucking gear. Like, he used to use the gear,
gadgets and stuff,
and he used the gadgets. And people didn't. I felt like my friend didn't accept that, and I was just like, "But you played the Arkham Asylum motherfucking games. You know
he can flip around.
You can flip around and use the gear.
Like that's like I want to see that's what I want to see with Batman. Like, he needs to be more like a ninja and like jumping around, kicking people, and like disappearing in the dark will lie and snatching people up. Like Christian Bale's Batman was more like they walk up in the room and people try to fight him straight up.
I think that's all they got really pretty much. DC right now is Batman. Like they aren't giving any.
He should be easy to do.
Yeah, but they aren't even giving the like they did Green Arrow, right? I was like, Green Arrow should have been like the first fucking character on Justice League. He should have been a part of them.
If you were gonna bring
if they were even gonna bring him in there, I would have been like, hey, write a part for that.
For me, I think if they do like a movie version of Green Arrow, it has to be the dude from Sons of Anarchy.
The Charlie Hunnam?
Yeah. He won't do it. He said he doesn't want to do it. He said he has respect for those type of movies, but it's not his thing. But you would make so much money as Green Arrow.
Yeah,
he literally has the beard.
For saying that. I respect him for saying that, but
he's got the beard and the look. He just looks like he could be Green Arrow. He's perfectly suited for it.
I probably don't think he'll do it though.
He won't.
He's too much of a drama actor, and I have the respect for him. That Charlie Hunnam has done some really great movies, and yeah, man, don't do it. Don't fucking. I just say don't put yourself in a superhero costume, and then because Ben Affleck did not like. I think there was an interview where Ben Affleck, they said the Superman versus Batman when they first did that movie, and people were saying that the ratings for it wasn't that good. He looked at them and they were like, "What?" And he's just like, his face. It was just his face that they were talking about. Is just like he was just kind of astonished.
Yeah, well, I mean, see, for me, I thought that movie Superman could have been better. I think they should have definitely did a Justice League directly. Have you ever seen Justice League War, the animated movie? They should have did it exactly the way it was, word for word, scene for scene. Just maybe add a little extra things to make the movie a little bit longer. But Justice League War was really good at introducing heroes as them already established characters, meeting together for the first time, teaming up together to fight. I think it was Darkseid. Yeah, Darkseid. And it would have made a lot more sense than them just like.
I don't know. I think they need to put a foundation down, like a fucking flat clear of like, hey, look, the MCU built their stuff. Like they had Iron Man first, they had fucking, obviously they were putting down their foundations with, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, Batman.
They had the Flash, but I don't know if they're still doing Flash.
I honestly, I haven't heard nothing.
Me neither.
If they do, I cannot wait because that dude that was doing the Flash looked pretty cool, and I really was interested in watching that movie.
See, I wasn't really too big into the Flash's costume in the movie version because it was too metallic. The Flash's costume shouldn't be looking like he was like he's wearing an Iron Man suit.
It should have looked like what Batman's suit was looking, and then Batman's suit should have looked metallic like his suit was looking, right?
Yeah.
I think they should have flipped suits.
But it also kind of makes sense for Batman's suit to look the way it did too. But I just didn't like those weird goggle eye thing that Batman had.
That's what I was saying. I don't know why Batman was going for a look of like steampunk. I'm like, you don't need that. That's not a cool look.
And one of the biggest gripes that everybody had was Superman's mouth.
What?
Then Superman, they edited what's his name? Henry Cavill's his lip because he had a mustache for Mission Impossible that he couldn't shave off, and so they edited it out, and his lips looked super weird in the movie. If you didn't notice, his mouth was off. It didn't look like him. It was like, I
have a mustache. I'm gonna tell you right now. The fucking thing, that fucking TV thing, or that little camera, makes me look like I have, like, an end mustache, but it's actually fully grown in. I'm telling you right now, look at it right now. Doesn't it look like it? Yeah. Like, you can't even see it.
But, they were just, a lot of people were mad. But Henry Cavill was supposed to be in the Witcher TV show, though. That's the Witcher, the main Witcher. Geralt.
Yeah. Geralt? I see him as that. I think they should just he should get that 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
How graphic is it going to be?
Well, I think it's also going to be on HBO, so I think it should be super graphic.
Because that's
a violent show.
That is a violent game. That's another. That next to Assassin's Creed would be two of the most violent games that come out as far as like with monsters and stuff in it.
The Assassin's Creed movie, I wasn't a big fan of. Like, I liked the concept. I didn't like the animus they used. It was like a weird like thing. It was like a little crane that attached to your body, and then you were like,
oh yeah,
punching, kicking.
That was an animus. That was a special project animus, I think.
Yeah, but it still was.
It was dumb. I think, why did they just put you in that shit that they look like they put you in Avatar?
Yeah, those little head things, and you just kind of, I don't know why they didn't just do that.
They didn't just put the Avatar shit in there. Like, remember how, like, Sully was in the Avatar shit, and he was just like, he was doing his little compulsions. I thought it was good was as far as the action was good.
Speaking of Avatar, weren't they supposed to make a second movie? What the fuck is that supposed to come out?
Not for a while.
That movie's not coming out ever because it's been like 10 years.
Dude, it takes $1 billion to make that movie.
I don't think they'll spend that $1 billion to spend it faster.
It took him years to make Avatar 1 because of scheduling conflicts and the environment he was putting these actors in, and the CGI work.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good movie. It's a memorable movie. It's
the next one, he said, and this is from the internet. The next one is going to deal with the ocean on Pandora, because you dealt with the forest, right? The forest people, the people with the trees, how they were knocking the forest down. It was quote unquote what we were. Everything he does as far as James Cameron goes is something kind of like what's going on in Earth and how it affects us and how it affected them. And so it's going to say like, now we're polluting our oceans. Now they I think people are going to come back, like those private company people, and they're going to be in the ocean now. And so Sully is going to go and try to fight them out of the ocean and try to take over Pandora again. So, like, the war continues.
Huh.
It's kind of weird. I don't understand. I don't think that would be the real story, but I know James Cameron confirmed that the next one would be, it will go from the forest to the ocean. So you're going to kind of see how the oceans of Pandora pan out with the Na'vi going to the ocean.
That'd be kind of cool. Wonder what kind of sea creature they'll like link with.
Yeah, and then he has projects that he's been doing, like he goes down below the sea and shit. Like he's been doing documentaries, like how far you can go down into like the Mariana Trench and all that stuff. I be watching documentaries all the time, so that's how I know.
There's that reminds me of Aquaman. I heard that one wasn't a bad movie, but it felt like underwater
Avengers.
Underwater Black Panther.
Why did I say that, dude? I should have said that because the people were saying that it felt like an Aquaman, but it was an Aqua Black Panther. I was like, dude, that is bad. That is bad. Like, they were saying Jason Momoa shouldn't have done that.
He's a good actor, but it feels like the movies he's in, it's like they're relying on him to make it good instead of their actual scripts being good.
I understand. Yeah. Isn't that weird, though? Because lately I've been seeing that superheroes in superhero movies, it's all about the actor that plays it. And if it isn't good, it's just like, they're just like, whatever. We're just going to get him out of there. We'll just find another actor for this role.
Like, wow. I am losing my voice, apparently. Like, see, if they did like the Darkseid thing with Darkseid, could have been their Thanos.
Darkseid is like Thanos, but crazy.
Yeah, because he has a whole hell planet. And
like the mother box, that was actually supposed to be like somebody's body, right? I think that's supposed to be carrying somebody in there.
The mother box is a portal. That's what it is. It's a portal that it explodes and opens a portal. That's what happened to Cyborg's body. I think there's also something called a father box too. But
that kind of never they kind of really don't. When they kind of put that together, they kind of jump you into something that doesn't make any sense in the Justice League.
I don't know. They could have. There's so many things they could have easily just.
There's just too many not really well written stuff.
It's like they use source material and they want to branch off away from the source material. Oh, that show Krypton. I don't know if you've heard of it. They're about to bring in Lobo. And their Lobo looks scrawny as hell.
Their Lobo looks disgusting.
Lobo needs to look like he's been hitting the gym for his entire life.
He needs to look a little scarred up too.
Yeah, he's kind of had a little bit of scars, but he looks like he's my size, slightly bigger.
Then he has red eyes and dreadlocks like the Predator.
Yeah,
don't make no sense.
Well, he's supposed to have red eyes and dreadlocks. That was Lobo, but he's not muscled. He's not big, and he doesn't sound like a grizzled dude. He sounds like a kid.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna want to pay attention to Krypton because of that. Then
I was interested because they're oh look who's here, Lobo, and then I see his full body. I'm
you have destroyed any confidence I have in you.
I might watch it to see if he's as violent as Lobo is supposed to be, but I have a feeling he's not going to be.
I mean, I feel like they get a hold of this DC content that's really good, and they play it down so much that you can't even like it anymore. There's nothing that you want to like from the DC, but
the only thing I like watching from DC is Young Justice.
That's basically DC Comics is now better to just read it instead of watching the movies or anything. The only thing I really give justice to is pretty much
Young Justice
or Batman. Batman, if you're trying to watch live action stuff, just the old school Batman. Until we get proof of another good Batman movie or another good
Dark
Superman.
Knight will always be the best one.
Dark Knight, I think, reigns supreme right now.
A lot of people Dark Knight Rises is better. It's no, not when Bane has the weird
Bane. I always say Bane should have been a Spanish mercenary.
Yeah.
That beat the shit out of people. They should have gone with some. If Jason Momoa was that dude, I would have been all right.
And the fact that he didn't use Venom. It seemed like he didn't use Venom at all. He just had a weird breathing mask.
It would have been cool if they if he had a little thing where he's and
then he just gets
he just gets fucking buff.
I did like the fact that they did the whole break the bat thing. I just did not like his voice because he sounded like he was trying to be polite the entire time. It was
yeah,
you got to sound like you're menacing. I don't feel menaced when you're talking to me.
I feel like we're picking apart this just to pick it apart, but at the same time there's some justice that needs to be served by this Geek Rebel panel. But I'm just saying, honestly, to me, DC is like I said, DC has taken some L's that are really bad, and I think they need to go and take a look at what they're doing, man. They need to say, hey, these are superheroes that we should make a movie about, but we should at least make a movie about them with the content that has already been made. It's made. We should just try not to put a personal touch to it. Just kind of see how it goes if we just make it.
See, speaking of just letting things get really good, there's a new wrestling promotion that came out. Well, not really come out. It's coming out soon, but they just opened their second pay-per-view. And the first one was like more like, can we do this type of deal? And then the second one was like, okay, this is the actual thing. We're gonna do it. We got a whole roster. It's AEW. They just had their show on Saturday or Sunday. I think it was Saturday. They had this massive show, and like because WWE is they're just getting desperate. AEW is like they're just winning all over. Like just finally we can see like bloody people, like oh my god, like there's gold dust, bloodied all over.
Wrestling back to when the days are just like people getting smacked by like what was those fluorescent light bulbs?
Oh no, they won't use those again. They're still safe wrestlers, but like because most of the people there are people who are tired of like WWE and the industry being like complacent or like not trying to evolve with the world. And so it was made by like Dusty Rhodes' son Cody, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and the owner of the Jaguars. They made a wrestling promotion, and it's
the guy who owns the Jaguars owns the Jaguars. Owns a soccer team in Europe, which is Fulham Soccer Club, and now owns a freaking WWE.
Not WWE. It's their own
AEW.
All Elite Wrestling.
That dude owns 3. That dude's a media fucking mogul.
He's about to make a lot of money too, and he's the only one that has enough money to back up like the same amount as like WWE because he can. That's all they really needed was major backing with big money guy. So now they can actually make like. Their event was so. People are still talking about it. Like I'm talking about today, and people are just talking about it like constantly. Like my phone constantly like it's notified like, oh man, this person just did this. Like there's a guy formerly he was in WWE named Dean Ambrose. He went back to his old way when he was like known as that hardcore guy, and his name is John Moxley because he would do the most violent wrestling. He's back to being that guy again. It was like, oh thank God. He's over there just. Laying people when he showed up at the end of the pay-per-view and he just started laying everybody out. I was like,
I hope what's cool about wrestling, and I hope they do it like they do like European sports, is like if you're the top guy in your area, I hope you get a chance in the premier areas, like where like I hope if you're the top of whatever AEW that you're going into and you're the top guy. When you win a fight, then you become the lower guy in a different league, and then you start kind of fighting your way up that way.
See, what they're doing is they're not making it like they're doing storylines but they're focusing more on like wins and losses. Like if you have the more wins you have, the more like. They're not going to just grant people like championship opportunities. Like if like, oh man, I beat this person up, I won it now, I get championship in that person.
No, you
gotta earn your stuff.
Oh, okay, you gotta earn your stripes.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That makes sense.
So like, because in WWE, Vince McMahon seems to have like this weird hard on for like Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, like because they're really big dudes and they're muscle and jacked. Like Brock Lesnar won Money in the Bank at like maybe last Sunday. The pay-per-view last Sunday, right?
He's the type of guy that shows up and he's like, I'm here, and then let me wrestle, and then he wrestles, and then he leaves for like, that's what you were telling me.
He wasn't even in the match, and he won the match. He wasn't in the match. He went up there, climbed the ladder, grabbed the briefcase, and won the match. I don't know how.
That makes no sense.
Exactly.
To me. Like to me, a person that doesn't watch. It just doesn't make sense for you to come because you're naturally talented, and somebody that just comes out.
So here's what happened.
Yeah,
they destroyed there's like 8 other superstars. They're destroying each other in the ring because they're throwing each other off ladders, slamming each other on ladders, and
so they practically beat the shit out of each other enough.
And then Brock Lesnar comes and literally at the end of the pay-per-view walks in, beats up the guy who was about to grab the briefcase, Mustafa Ali, throws him off, and picks up there and grabs it, and they're like. Bell rings is like the winner. I was like, he wasn't even in the fucking match.
He's a fucking thief. What a thief! You just like it makes money for no reason.
It makes no sense. You win a match, and like what it is the Money in the Bank contract lets you have a title match whenever you want. Like if a person gets like what most people do is they wait till like the current champion gets his ass whooped, and then like his like at a weakened state and can't fight back. You bring the contract in, you bring a ref, cash it in. If you pin that person or you make him submit, you're the new champion, no matter what happens.
I want to kill Brock Lesnar now. Like that makes no sense. Like Brock Lesnar,
he's a dude who literally has all the tools and is the laziest motherfucker. Like they literally came out with a new title called the 24/7 title, where it's basically the hardcore title. But all it is you can. It's a title that can change hands whenever, as long as there's a ref. Like I said, as long as there's a ref around. If you pin somebody on the ground, like they can be like in the parking lot, you get pinned. You're the new champion. You take the belt, you run off with it until somebody else comes in. Like right now, there's R-Truth has it, and he's got the belt, and he's been hiding and disguising himself as different people, and people just can't seem to find him for some reason. It's hilarious. And, he dressed himself up as like a girl, and he's like a really dark black dude. He's dressed himself up like as a blonde woman, and people don't even recognize him somehow. Like it's funny. I feel like that 24/7 title though should go to Brock Lesnar because it's a title that can be handed to him. And he can just run off with it and never come back with it, and he will have a title. That's literally.
I feel like he's just coasting right now in the WWE.
Brock Lesnar, yes, because he gets paid big money to just do nothing. Like literally, Vince McMahon has a guy, Luke Harper. Luke Harper has been on TV in a while, and then when he is on TV, he's like losing and he's never winning. But he wants to leave it. He wants to get out of his contract. He wants to leave so he can go do other things and actually like wrestle on TV. Vince won't let him leave, so he's just paying him to sit at home and do nothing. But the guy wants to get out of his contract so he can do stuff, but he won't let him out. And instead of letting him out of his contract, he adds more months to his contract.
That's so fucking douchey. That's
like,
why I'm always
but you're losing money. Like I don't know if you're losing money. Like you got a talent there who's literally sitting at home doing nothing, getting paid to do nothing. Like I don't know. For me, I'd be like,
yeah.
Like I guess the guy because he's only complaining because he really loves his job. Like he likes wrestling.
Yeah.
Like I would like to actually do what I love to do.
Can I win once in a while? Like can I
be on TV?
Can I get the international shit or can I get the hardcore one? Like what,
can I
get a championship?
Can I at least be on TV? Like he hasn't really been on TV. That's his thing. Like he wants to do stuff. He wants to showcase his skills. And Vince is just like no. The reason why he's like not on TV, from what I heard, is Vince doesn't like him because he can't do a southern accent. Vince is
That's why I don't like. I never liked Vince. I never liked. He's
so Vince. Petty.
Vince is so. Thank you. Vince is petty. Vince is always like, why? Like he asks people to do stuff that's ridiculous and that's not in their character. Like what is going on, Vince? Like
he's just so old. He just won't leave.
Like Vince, die already. Like if they like blow him up, he wouldn't die.
You know, he's like a cockroach.
It's like a cockroach.
There's a thing where you can definitely tell he's in.
And then Shane's gonna be even worse. Like
Shane actually is better actually.
He's like decent.
Yeah, him and Triple H are like really good at like working with the talent. Vince McMahon wants something like when people say when you're doing storylines in WWE with Vince in it, you're not making a storyline for the whole universe for people to like. You're making it for one person. It's for Vince. If he likes it, then he'll let it out and let you put it on TV. Even if it sucks straight ass, if Vince likes it. That's how it works. It's not like, oh man, this is really good.
Yeah, Vince is the worst. Vince is the worst for WWE. I mean, he made
it good.
He made the foundation strong, but he didn't make the storylines good.
He's not making it even any better. He's ruining the War Raiders. When they were in NXT, they were known as the War Raiders, a really strong, dominant team. They come to the main roster, they get known as the Viking Experience. The dumbest fucking name I've ever heard in my life.
The Viking Experience?
Yes. They went from the War Raiders to the Viking Experience.
The War Raiders sounded so fucking cool, dude.
So people shitted on that name so badly, like they were off TV for like 2 weeks, and they came back as the Viking Raiders. I was like, that's better, but no one wants to be you come, and then they changed their names from like Hanson and Rose to Eric and Ivar, so they could have some Viking names. Like their names were already Vikingish enough. Roe and Hanson, and but you will list the name from Eric and Ivar and change the name to the Viking Experience, the dumbest fucking name you could ever come with.
That sounded like the Viking Experience.
It sounds like a Disney ride, doesn't it? Right? It sounds like a Disney ride.
It sounded like I'm about to go, and then like those automated robots come back. I'm going to pillage you.
So you want some mead?
Do you want some mead, sir? And then you just yeah. And then they here's a Viking helmet. And then the things put a Viking helmet on.
He's like, I'm a Viking on this one. Like a lot of people were like, it's such a dumb name. Like it was so dumb. You can definitely tell Vince is in people's ears too, because they're like in NXT. I think it's NXT, or there's this guy named Pat McAfee. Mm-hmm. He was talking about there's a guy named the Velveteen Dream, right? And he was like, he was like, I think it was the Velveteen Dream. He was like, the guy Pat McAfee was talking. He was doing his own thing, and he was like, yeah, the Velveteen Dream. He's one of my top picks. And then he's as he's talking, he's like, he's one of my top. I don't think the Velveteen Dream is going to win at all. I was like, what? You can definitely tell Vince is like, talk about how bad he is. He's not going to win. It's like, what? You can definitely tell he kind of stopped himself. It was like, the Velveteen Dream was not. Look, he didn't believe what he was saying, but he had to say it because you definitely know the boss told you this how to say
it's you got to be scared of Vince McMahon because he's the big dick.
He's your boss. He owns the majority of the company, so they can't kick him out. But like,
they need to like poison his ass, and then he dies, and then be like, "Oh, Vince is dead. How are we gonna go on? Shane, you should definitely take over." Oh, I got this, guys. I got.
No, they don't much like. To be honest, I'd rather Triple H is married to Vince's daughter, so I think Triple H should take over. If Triple H makes NXT, NXT is really good. NXT gets a lot more 5-star matches than the actual WWE itself does, because NXT is WWE. It gets more like better matches, it's better quality matches than the main roster does. And
you know what I'm thinking though? If he ever takes over, and like you said, have they merged NXT with
they're merged because whenever they call them call ups, whenever NXT superstars do as much whatever all they can do in NXT, they go up to the main roster. They're entitled.
So that's what I was saying. Like they should make it where they merge it, and then your top guys go up to the main roster.
That's basically what it is.
That's good. That's good. I mean, at least as far as what I'm about to say, that is the best thing that you could. I think we should do a 2-hour one.
A 2-hour?
Yeah.
You want to do a 2-hour video?
Yeah, because the last time we didn't do it justice. Our last video, as soon as we finished it, was no volume. So we're gonna give you a treat today of a 2-hour
special video. I was going to do a 2-hour on the 10th episode one, but I guess we can do it here because I think it's pretty much. Because I think the next episode I probably won't.
I think we should redeem ourselves as far as the last one.
The next episode I probably won't be sober enough to even really hate it.
I think that one should be an hour, so that way you could.
That was probably going to be long as hell because I know Juliana and I are supposed to be drinking straight up tequila and other stuff on Thursday.
What did we finish talking about? Well, I'm just saying, like, as far as Triple H was always. I saw him one time do a class on USA to show like new wrestlers how to do stuff. That dude knows wrestling.
He knows what he's doing.
That dude knows what he's doing. And
these independent wrestlers that are like coming out like from like independent shows and like big other leaders. He's the one bringing them in. Like Finn Balor came in, Shinsuke Nakamura, Ricochet, Aleister Black, Adam Cole, Matt Riddle, all these other like I'm sure you don't know who I'm talking about.
I have no idea.
But these are big name people from like the indies, and like they're coming because they're seeing like Triple H give them like these really good spotlights on TV to show what they can do in the WWE. And WWE is a big company and it's massive.
What do you think? What country do you think has the best wrestlers being produced? I could say America, yeah.
No.
Where would you say what country is the best with wrestlers as far?
When it comes to in-ring storytelling, I'd say Japan.
Japan?
Yeah. Because that's where, like, in New Japan Pro Wrestling, that's where Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks made their big names at. And they got so massive in Japan that they were so massive here in the States that they made their own wrestling show. AEW.
They are wrestling.
Like they made AEW. Like they were so big in Bullet Club that they couldn't be contained in one company, so they made their own company.
That's crazy. So Japan. Big ups to Japan for bringing the wrestling fucking people back into the fold, man. Like that's cool. Like that. I like how other countries are kind of. I would have assumed Mexico.
Well, Mexico has like a big company called AAA Wrestling, but I will not be able to pronounce all the names in there.
Oh, okay.
It's like AAA and like but they so the cool thing is about All Elite Wrestling is because they've garnered so much goodwill between all the wrestlers. All the wrestlers are really good friends with each other, except for like most people in WWE, because WWE kind of doesn't allow people to like communicate with. Like you can't like talk to
the peons.
Yeah,
like, don't talk to me.
Like they won't let them like talk to like you have to be really careful about like posting pictures of like your other wrestling friends and other wrestling promotions.
Mm-hmm.
But in the All Elite, they have their current champions, current tag champions, the Young Bucks, are AAA tag champions. They have a talent exchange setting, I think, with New Japan, which is a lot of people didn't know they were going to be able to do it or not because New Japan is where the Bullet Club, with Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and the Cody Rhodes came from. And they left that to make All Elite, but I guess they're going to be partnering with them sometime. So they got all these other promotions that they can bring into their company, other than WWE.
It's going to be, I feel, wrestling is definitely going to be, I think in the next few years, I think wrestling is going to come back. Like hard body, like it's gonna be.
I mean, it's pretty big now. Like, I mean, it's like there are a lot of people. I was watching Smosh earlier, earlier this week, and one of the girls there, Mari, she was wearing an All Elite Wrestling shirt. I didn't even know she even liked wrestling. I was like, what?
Have you been watching Viceland on HBO? Have you been watching like The Dark Side of the Ring?
No. I haven't really even watched TV in general.
Like Viceland is a late night HBO thing, and they have a show where they talk about the dark side of the ring, where you know how you have a persona and you got to live by your persona, and I wouldn't want to say persona, your character. You got your character and you got to live your character. What they were talking about back in when wrestling was starting to get big, like people like Macho Man Randy Savage, they had to live like what Macho Man Randy Savage was. His character was big.
Like Lex Luger literally had to live in his trailer. It was like an RV that was like called the Lex Express.
Yeah.
And he was just sitting in there and he just had to be Lex Luger. Travel the world, travel the whole.
They were saying that Macho Man Randy Savage was so coked up that he was like didn't even know he was doing interviews and shit.
Hey, at least they're not doing what Randy Orton did, shit in people's bags. That's fucking gross.
What the fuck?
Yeah, Randy Orton would shit people. I think it was Randy Orton who shit in someone's bag, and then and he also like would grab it. Like it was like a hazing thing where he would touch his dick and try to force like the newer people to shake his hand. Like hey, shake my hand. Like I'd be like, no, but he's Randy Orton. He's like a senior guy, and he has pull there, so he can easily make your life hell. And it's just like,
how you doing, bud?
Like, can I put?
And then I would have been like, you're doing pretty good, aren't you?
Well, I'm like, hey, hi.
Hey, oh, what's going on? Or like, hey. With an elbow.
I don't. Yeah, don't.
Hey, whoa.
And like, if you try to, it was just it was awkward and weird. And I know Randy Orton doesn't do that stuff now, but like back then it was.
Randy Orton sounds like a fucking asshole when he was young, dude. I would not fucking fuck with Randy Orton.
He was an asshole.
Like,
I mean, you have to admit he was a guy who was in the military and got dishonorably discharged. So.
He was on that one episode of Shooter.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, dude, you were really cool on there. And I was just like, never again. After I heard what you just did, you shit in people's bags and dick tapped them or dick fucking applaud them or something.
Or dick handshake. Like I don't want dick hand on my...
Dick palmed them. Dick palmed them. That's...
It's, what were we talking about earlier? We were talking about, was it Rick and Morty?
Rick and Morty comes out next year in like October or November.
This year.
This year. October, November.
Oh, we were talking about also My Hero Academia 2 coming out in the fall.
I can't wait for that.
We need to get
where are they at? As far as like what happened in the story?
Where My Hero?
Yeah, for
they just fought the guy, or they did the training exercise with the guy who can go through like solid objects. Mirio took out. They're about to do the whole arc where it's Are
they in? Were they still in the festival?
No.
Oh, that was done after he figured out how to run, or his legs were his powers more.
Yeah. No, they're at that, like, right when the training thing when he learned to use his legs more. That's where like it's a little bit after that, and then right after that they're about to do it like because he meets the big three. Well, the school meets their school's big three, which is the guy Mirio Togawa, who originally apparently was supposed to have All Might's power. That's who All Might was going to go meet, but ended up running into Midoriya and ended up giving him Midoriya his power. But that guy Mirio is really good too. He's apparently top. Even he's so good that he's considered even higher than some of the pro heroes.
Oh, that is right. They were in the training session with him,
and his clothes fell off.
And then they were trying to fight. They were doing the big exact.
They were trying to fight him, and they just kept going through him, and it just wasn't working.
So he was trying to figure out why Midoriya got what he got.
No, he wasn't. It was more like he was trying to figure out why which people were qualified to be heroes. It was more like, he comes out like not like an idiot, but more like he uses intuition more. It was more like which people have like the most potential. He thought Midoriya's entire class had the most potential to be a really good hero, but Midoriya obviously it was really good at what's the word?
Academics.
No, he was really good at studying his opponent too. Because Mirio, he had to make himself be smarter and learn how to use his quirk a lot better. Because he would hurt himself, like because he would go through walls if he accidentally deactivated his arm or like get like broken or something, and he would have to like get it healed or whatever. So he's got like a bunch of scars all over his body because of all failing so much. But he got so good at it that because he can go underground, slip back up, and like uppercut the shit out of you, and let's like disappear, go through you. Or it's like he has an OP quirk, but it's a
useful one.
It's a very useful one.
I think it's funny though, because when they were fighting, like he would pop up behind people.
Yeah, he was just being naked, just really power, just straight up, just knocking out all people. You punch them in the gut. Yeah.
I think. Do you think Bakugo and Midoriya kind of respect themselves after they tussled each other or fought each other?
Yeah. Well, now that Bakugo understands why All Might was basically favoring.
About the class, are you keeping my photo card? My mom just coming to my photo card.
Hold on, I'll be back.
Oh yeah.
Get my photo card because mommy just told me. Thanks.
Oh, nice. So Bakugo is right now.
He's understanding as to why Midoriya is like how Midoriya is catching up. But Bakugo is such a naturally talented that he can keep up with him. He's thinking from like Sasuke with an attitude, more of an attitude.
Yeah, I think Midoriya kind of fucking had a struggle. First two seasons. Third season, you kind of see him
come to his own,
and I felt like in the first two seasons he was kind of ignorant about his powers. Like he still wasn't.
Yeah, he was understanding. He only had like a month or two to learn it when he first got it. To learn how to like actually start to use it, and then
Eraserhead just like. I fucking feel like that dude just never wants to help nobody.
Yeah, but he's really badass though.
Yeah, he is really badass. How do you think the next season's gonna go? Like, what is their next? What is their?
Oh, they gotta fight the mafia.
The mafia?
I think it's like a mafia group of people. No, the Yakuza. It's the Yakuza and the League of Villains teaming up, and the heroes have to go rescue this little girl. That little girl, her quirk is OP. When she gets older, she's gonna be powerful as hell. She's really good. Her quirk that she has is she can reverse time on people.
Oh shit, that's gonna be cool.
And she can heal and revert things to the way that to prevent people from hurting themselves. Her and Midoriya make a great team. That's all I can say about that without spoiling too much.
Do you think the Gravity Girl's gonna come on her own too?
Oh yeah, she does. She's gonna be
because she had an issue where she was.
Oh, but the person who's gonna have an even outside of Midoriya, who's gonna have an even bigger push is gonna be Kirishima, the dude with the red hair and the hardened skin. Mm-hmm. He gets a really good story arc too. In that he gets a little part in the same arc too. It's really cool.
That's cool because him and the Silver dude kind of always collide.
Yeah, but that guy's not there. He's a legit fight a villain. Like one of the Yakuza villains like that. Him and a pro hero named Fat Gum. Fat Gum actually he's like really big. He looks like he kind of reminds you of Baymax a little bit. But then he can use all of his fat and turn it into muscle, and he just gets super fucking diesel and strong as shit. And looks fucking cool. And him and Kirishima are a really strong tag team. Kirishima gets this is so cool. I don't really.
Yeah, don't put any spoilers out there.
It's a good scene. I think that's what got Julianne to make Julianne her favorite character. Her favorite character is because she could tell that him and Bakugo are really good friends, but she likes him the most for some reason.
So does Bakugo, as far as Midoriya, do they both ever help each other out later on? Because I've never seen them actually fought together against a villain.
Well, they team up against All Might during that training session. Remember when they were fighting in the city? And they had to fight All Might. All Might was like a villain. He had these big ass weights on. It was like a school training thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. They teamed up there. That was the first time of the match.
I want them to see fight an actual villain.
They haven't gotten to that far yet.
That'll be cool though.
Right now in the comics, they're focusing on the villains. Like Midoriya and his classmates haven't even been seen for maybe 6 chapters now. So it's been a while.
So that's gonna be next year coming up.
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole villain arc for some reason.
That's good because it'll set up the season next.
And also you can see how strong the villains are gonna get too. Because oh my God, Shigaraki gets OP. Shigaraki, the dude who touches things and it decays.
Yeah,
he gets OP.
Damn.
He gets overpowered.
Damn.
His quirk gets retarded. I don't even know how they're going to beat him if they fight him.
So, to me, I feel like when those characters the villains, I feel like they didn't really go into them. So that's why I feel like this next season, if they do a villain arc, it'll be really good to kind of bring that half of superheroes that they've been talking about. And the other half of the villains that they want to put in, that they give them their little arcs. So I mean, I see it. I can't wait for it. I want to understand what that other side is, because you're kind of like, what the fuck is going on with these villains? Why are they the villains they are?
You get a lot more of the backstories on that one girl. Toga, the one with the blonde hair, whose quirk is she could transform other people.
Yeah,
you get a lot more backstory into her too, and then you get more backstory to Shigaraki. Because you find out that I think this has already been told, but he's the grandson of All Might's master, the one who gave All Might his quirk. He's Shigaraki's a villain. His grandmother was All Might's mentor and predecessor, and it tell you more about if he liked her or not. I don't want to spoil it, but
this was I think this My Hero Academia. Honestly, I think this is one of the best animes as far as because it puts you in a story where heroes actually have, when they're fighting their villains, they actually have they feel bad sometimes because they don't know what the villain's going through, but they also feel like the aftermath of the villain, destroys some shit, and that they couldn't do anything to stop him from destroying.
But they want to know what this person's like motives and reasoning are as to
like the superhero Stain, like the super villain killer Stain.
Yeah, the hero killer Stain.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was only taking down heroes that are just using it for fame and publicity and not trying to actually be a hero.
Yeah, that.
Like, he was going to let Midoriya live. That's why he saved Midoriya's life when he was basically unconscious. He killed that Nomu while unconscious.
Yeah, and you kind of have to respect Stain after that, because Stain understood it. Stain was trying to say, hey, you guys are heroes, but at the same time, you guys aren't heroes because you're trying to be a hero. You're trying to be a hero just so that way you can get rich. That's what heroes aren't supposed to do that. But he went away about it to as far as like, hey, that ain't right, bro. You need to back out of here. You need to pump the brakes. You need to, you need to hey, you need to go and you need to be like, you need to rethink what you're doing.
There's and they actually explained to you who was creating the Nomus, it tells you who it is.
He was like what was his like all together or
no all for one.
All for one, yeah.
Instead of one for all.
All for one.
Although it's not him, he worked with all for one, but you've surprised you've already met the character before. It may have been brief, but everybody's already seen him before.
Oh.
My brother has been, like I was telling you earlier, my brother's been watching Black Clover, and he at first didn't care about it because he was like, "Oh, Ass's voice is annoying," or the action was taking too long to get started, and he's already caught up.
I'm gonna watch that. I wanna watch Black
You're gonna be annoyed by his voice. I'm gonna warn you now. He has an annoying voice.
Have you been watching One Punch Man?
Not like as frequently, but I have been watching it now. I'm caught up, but I don't watch it right when it comes out.
Did you watch last week's episode? As far as him finishing that martial arts tournament, where he beats hip beats the dude.
Yeah, that dude. Yeah, he just kind of like one punched him into the.
I kind of like Saitama this season. I think they're gathering more. They're kind of doing it to where like they were last season, where everything was culminating to the one punch. Yeah. That would defeat the mega bad guy.
So I like what I realized One Punch Man is he's the most powerful person, but most of the action scenes and the story plot revolves around everybody else around him.
Yeah. Did you see Atomic Samurai?
Yeah.
He just atomic slashed the dude, and it was so cool. Like, the dude ended up going with the League of Demons or the League of Monsters.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, so you went with the League of Monsters? So now you know."
And he tried to force them to join them. He was like, "This guy could kill you before you even draw your sword." And they're like, "Are you sure about that?"
And then he was like, and then he just went into dust. I was just like, "What the fuck?"
That's like Genos is such a cool character, but his whole point is he looks cool getting beat up.
I don't know what the fuck is wrong with him.
He's so powerful, but then the people he fights ends up fucking him up anyways.
Didn't he get fucked up by a roach?
No.
Oh no, he obliterated that roach. What fucked him up?
There's a whole bunch of things it was like that Fish King guy.
The Fish King guy fucked him up. But this season he got fucked up by some weird crazy thing that's heading to the martial arts tournament right now.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name.
It looks like a Nomu, but on crack. It's like a Nomu on crack. That's what it looks like. And it's trying to head for Saitama.
It's a really... Yeah, no, it's going towards the strongest people.
So what are they going to do about the human monster? The one that's...
Oh, that one dude?
Yeah.
Oh, I think he's gonna fight Silver Fang, his mentor. He taught him how to...
I can't wait till like the last. I know everything's gonna. I just want the one episode that accumulates where all these guys meet up and everybody just starts duking it out. Like you see really good animated fight. Like so far, the animation fighting scenes are amazing.
You know what I realized? Did Tatsumaki, that girl, the psychic girl, did she ever try to use her powers on Saitama?
She did.
I don't remember her.
And it didn't work. It was like the episode where she was like, her gang was trying to recruit him.
No, that's her sister. We're talking about the number
green
two, the number 2 hero.
No, She saw that he took down the ship in the first when he beat the alien boss, and she was just like, "Holy crap!"
Oh, and King is literally just scared the entire time. He just has like the most straight face, scary face, and his heart rate just pumps, and everybody starts to freak out and get scared and just give up immediately.
Dude, King. Everybody's trying to kill King right now, but they don't know that King is just like
sitting at home playing video games. They're like, he's like, King's over there fighting an unknown monster, and he's sitting there like, yeah, I have a pretty strong monster I gotta kill. Damn it. So they're just on the phone, just he's like, I'm fighting a monster. I'll call you back later.
I gotta go.
Like, well, he's fighting a monster. Yeah. He's over there fighting a really powerful monster on his own, doing his own thing. So.
I think One Punch Man's getting really good. I think the second season is amazing. Like, as far as right now, I hope they end it like 10 times as better as they ended the first one. The first season was amazing. That's why I was so excited when the second season came out. And I'll watch. I want to watch it the second way through, like just episode after episode. That way it kind of flows.
Bella.
But it's a pretty badass show. Like
here's Bella, because apparently she has to be right here.
So, yeah, and then this dog. You know, this dog's first episode here.
Yeah.
You know, she's amazing.
She's
super strong. She has OP quirks. She has superhero powers.
She just needs a haircut.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you want to talk about Gangsta. That's a nice.
I've seen Gangsta. I just don't remember too much about it, except for like some of the fight scenes and that they were helping take care of like a former prostitute girl.
Yeah. So as far as like what's going on, you got Nicholas, and then you got Warwick.
Yeah, Warwick was like a rich kid, right?
Yeah, Warwick was a rich kid until the incident with the Twilights, what they call them.
Yeah.
And then the prostitute that they helping take care of right now, her name's called Allie.
Yeah.
Because they pretty much gave her a name.
Yeah.
She was just working in an alley.
Yeah.
And
she became like a nurse assistant or a doctor assistant or something like that, right?
She became their assistant. They're like, she answers the phone, like gets them cigarettes,
that's right.
Like helps them do deliveries and stuff. And they protect her. The funny thing is, they were having in one of the episodes, she came to a party, and one of the gangs, a family or like a mob gang that was running the party, came up and they were greeting them, because I guess they were friends, and they were saying, "Hey, hold on, what's your name?" And then she's like, "My name's Allie, so and so, whatever." And so from there, they were kind of like meeting, and then they touch her breast, and they were like, And then the head of the family like smacks him in the head. He's like, "Don't touch her like that." And he's like, Warwick, the guy who was like pretty much bringing her hair, told him, he's like, "It's 100 for staring." And then the girl just like the girl thought the whole time that they were talking that he was gonna back her up, but he was just like, "It's 100%." He smacks the shit out of Warwick. It was, I don't say it is best, but like if you watch the show, it's like super cool. There's a lot of fighting. It reminds me of like if One Piece, like a One Piece, like a updated One Piece, because like the characters move very like.
It reminds me a lot of Cowboy Bebop, honestly.
Yeah, it's a sort of a Cowboy Bebop.
They're like bounty hunters, aren't they?
Yeah, they kind of work for the gangs in the in the city, and then they kind of protect them as far as like if their services, they need their services. Mm-hmm. They say, "Hey, we need you to protect us for the night because we got some sort of packages coming in." So they protect them from these things called anti-twilights, which try to kill the twilights that are moving through the city, and they take their tags and all that. So it's like, so that's what the whole main story of that gangsta stuff is, and they have like pretty cool, like Warwick is actually pretty cool. He shoots his pistol, and he was fucking taking dudes out like second episode. And Nicholas, who's the death guy, he communicates a sign language. He's a fucking badass, but he has to take like these medicines to kind of like enhance his
already powerful.
His already powerful fucking things, and they say he doesn't even need it, but like if he overdoses, like he goes on this berserker mode where he just kills everything in his way.
Yep.
And it's insane.
There's we're talking about Goblin Slayer earlier, and I think the other show we're talking about was Rising of the Shield Hero.
Yeah.
And I was telling him
I think I might have to find a way to watch that, Rising of the Shield.
And then there's that new Demon Slayer anime, the water.
I think I might watch that even before then, because that one looked pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good, pretty grim. But what are you doing?
Yeah, smooches.
She tried.
I also. I'm rewatching the John Wicks, obviously.
Oh, John Wicks are really good. I still haven't seen Parabellum. I want to see that.
It looks. If you watch Parabellum, just remember, watch it all the way through, just so that way you can kind of like be excited, because it if you lose focus on one scene, the next scenes kind of make you feel like, what the fuck's going on after this?
And there's I didn't see Detective Pikachu. Godzilla's coming out.
Oh, I cannot wait for that.
Somebody was saying that people were mad about that movie because it was more focused on the monsters fighting than the humans. So it's like, it's called Godzilla for a reason.
The humans fighting? Like, no, you don't want that. That's what you did. That's what they did in the first one. Like, most of the humans were like trying to shoot at each other.
They were trying to fight the monsters themselves. Like, no, we want to see the actual monster fights. I want to go see that one in theaters. I want to see.
All I saw the last movie, the last Godzilla movie, was that weird tentacle thing, or with that weird monster sweeping other freaking tanks and people out of the freaking air.
Oh yeah, and I know there's supposed to have like King Ghidorah, Mothra, and there's one more.
The 3-headed one?
No, I think that's King Ghidorah. There was one other one. I can't remember what it was. But I know that once Godzilla defeats them, they're supposedly supposed to do a King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah, they're in the same sort of era. King Kong is kind of...
It's like their version of Freddy versus Jason, but it's going to be with monsters.
I don't know how they're going to get...
I don't know how... Because King Kong isn't as big as Godzilla.
And King Kong is in Skull Island.
Yeah. Well, Godzilla can swim though, so there's that. He's just kind of showing there. Because
Godzilla's gonna just show up Godzilla into my shit.
My thing is King Kong's he's not as big as Godzilla. Like and you see in the movie, Godzilla is massive. Yeah. King Kong is not as big as him. King Kong's got to climb him.
King Kong killed a freaking like man-eating or like monster-eating octopus and ate it like it was sushi. It's like, I don't understand that.
Those are my type of movies I always have a hard time watching because that Pacific Rim was a difficult movie for me to really kind of watch because it was like, it didn't really make sense. You need two people to control one robot.
Yeah, I was like, why can't this shit be like Gundam?
Yeah.
Like where you just put me in a pilot suit and then put me in a pilot's cockpit and then I can eject at any point in time instead of having to have that two people thing. Like it doesn't.
Pacific Rim also reminded me a little bit of what's that name of that movie? I'm thinking of every other movie.
The one with the boxing robots.
Yeah, like Rock'em Sock'em Robots, but also kind of not Rock'em Sock'em Robots, Real Steel, and
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
What's the name of that movie? It's got like the Mockingjay, not Divergent, Hunger Games. Like when it came to the human people, it felt like the Hunger Games. The robots felt like Real Steel.
Oh, where they're like
training,
trying to, yeah,
like we're this good, we're this great, yeah, we're a great team, and then they get wrecked.
I pissed me off the first one though, because the first one they lose practically a majority of their team, and they were left with like two, and then the one team sacrificed themselves, didn't help out.
Yeah,
and then the second one, I gotta rewatch the second one because I fell asleep. And
I never saw the second Pacific Rim. I heard it was okay.
It was okay. It's just that the character that Michael Ajobi, or I think that's what his name is, or Michael.
You talking about the second one?
The second one, the guy who plays like in the new Star Wars.
Oh, that's not his name. It's
I'd say Michael Ajobi.
That's not his name. I remember.
He plays like in the Star Wars.
He's Finn.
He's Finn, yeah. Whoever he plays the son of Idris Elba's character. That when Idris Elba died, his son became one of the guys.
I don't know. John Boyega. That was it.
John Boyega.
I completely forgot his name for some reason.
John Boyega plays the main character.
Son.
He plays the commander's son that died in the first one,
mm-hmm.
and he ends up becoming like the fire that kind of their soul that kind of helps him defeat the kaiju that do come back. And the dude who, the guys who merged with the kaiju in the first one, like they put their brains into the kaiju and the kaiju put their brain into them. Mm-hmm. One of those guys become bad.
Yeah, of course.
And they become infected with kaiju poison. And the kaiju tries to take over their body, and it just the plot kind of went weird after that.
Sounded weird.
Yeah, like they released a kaiju in the middle of the city, and then the kaiju killed practically almost everybody, and then the kaiju took over the
body,
the machines. What was the machines' names? The Juggernauts or the?
I can't remember the names.
The Jaegers. They took over the Jaegers, and that's what happened.
I feel like I'm gonna have to watch that movie.
Take your time, dude. Take your time. It's not going nowhere. I want to watch. You know what movie I want to watch? The Hitman's Bodyguard.
I heard that was funny.
I heard that was really funny. It was really good. I really actually want to watch it because of Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Samuel L. Jackson really did a good job. I mean, it's Samuel, so Samuel
Jackson.
He's gonna do the new Shaft.
Yeah,
where he has the old Shaft, the next Shaft, and then the newer Shaft. It's like 3 generations of Shaft.
It's him, his father, and his son, I think.
Yeah, I think it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's gonna. And then I think his son has a son or a kid or something like that.
I don't know how they're gonna go from Peoples being the main bad guy. That was the main bad guy when Shaft was there. He's like, I'm Peoples. If you ever watch that Shaft, I'm gonna swear to God, you're gonna see Christian Bale trying to sell coke, but then it didn't work, and then you're gonna see a guy who was in the second to last Hunger Games that saves the girl from that area, and that shit's fucking hilarious.
There's something on Hunger Games I get a little mad because Watch Mojo's thing they did was like top 10 archers, and they had Katniss as number 1 over Green Arrow, Hawkeye, Legolas, and all these other archers.
Legolas should have been number 1. Legolas was killing orcs left and right.
I think she only became that because it was popular at that point in time, and they're like, oh well, she's super popular right now. Let's just make a thing about archers. And like, if Green Arrow could shoot a raindrop, like a specific raindrops that he wants, I think that makes him the better archer.
I just want to top you at saying that, first of all, Legolas shot 2 arrows to kill 2 freaking separate orcs that were running separately at him, and he was just like,
Green Arrow's done that before too.
I'm just saying, like,
I mean, he hasn't killed. I don't think he killed them. I think he kind of sent them flying back into the walls. But I think he's insane. All right, Bella. I appreciate you being here, but yeah.
Oh yeah. She's like, nah, I'm not going nowhere, bro. Okay, so as far as I feel like Legolas still should be up there. I don't think Katniss though. Like, she doesn't deserve the top seed.
She higher than Daryl Dixon, yes. Lower than Green Arrow. She should have been lower than Green Arrow and Hawkeye and Legolas, at least those 3.
Definitely Hawkeye, because Hawkeye did the behind the back, the no look hit. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You no look hit a fucking bullseye.
Yeah, not. She, I don't know. Although they do call Legolas, apparently they call shooting the bow wrong is Legolas, because when he shoots the bow, he puts the arrow string too close to his face and cuts your face off. So, but since it wasn't an actual real bow that he was shooting with, it didn't work. But they call it Legolasing if you shoot if you aim wrong.
Legolas. Was it a fucking Keegan-Michael Key used to do a funny ass Coach Hines, and then he used to tell kids, I will stab you in the face with a pencil. He's like, you see this? Legolas. Shooting people.
We were watching Key and Peele before we started.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I want to see what he does. I want to see him do like
more movies.
I heard his horror movies kind of really make you think.
See, you talking about Jordan Peele?
Yeah, like he really puts a lot of emphasis on Easter eggs.
He has it. Was that Us? And then he's got
Get Out.
Get Out and Us. Yeah.
Yeah. He said in Get Out, like the chair, the cotton that he put on in his ear represented the cotton that they used to pick back in slavery time. Had to do with very black, like black represented stuff. That's why he put it all. And a lot of the shit, I think, Jordan Peele does is amazing. Like, I feel like he's bringing back the horror genre.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job. He's making original movies. He's not making remakes or anything. Like, you see the new remake of Chucky?
I think that's stupid. I really hate remakes. I hate remakes. I just hate them personally. I'm just like, look, it's old. Die it out, man. Like I
want to see if the Chucky movie is going to be good. Chucky never scared me. It kind of made me laugh because it was just a doll.
Chucky
trying to kill somebody is kind of funny. But
after I figured out what Chucky was and how they used to just have him kill, I was just like, that's really not a horror story. It's just kind of, you got a demonic doll just running around.
It's funny because I was watching
people with no soul.
There's the show. It's a DC Comics show called Legend of Tomorrow. They had like a serial killer puppet that was trying to kill them. It was kind of hilarious. Cleo was just like an old man puppet wearing like a red sword, and he was like, "I'm gonna kill him."
I'm just saying, like, Chucky was never like. I would say Jason scared me a little bit because he popped out, in
your dreams.
Yeah, like no, Freddy.
No, Freddy was Jason was the one.
Freddy just creeped me out. Like Freddy creeped me out because it's just like now I can't go to. Now you're not trying to let me go to sleep.
The only movie that scared me when I was a kid was Jeepers Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers did scare me because that's the type of shit that. I feel like that type of shit was real.
It was just it's like every time I go like the one time at night when I was taking me and Eric and his then girlfriend Vicky, we were going to Pittsburgh to go see Motionless in White. We had to go through like we go
through Bumfuckville, fucking roads and shit.
Yeah, we went through like a cornfield. Like I was like, this is where cheaper creepers come to snatch people up.
When I went up to the mountains, and I love to go. I don't like going up to the mountains at night. I like to go during the day when I could see stuff. But when you leave at night, dude, it's pitch black. You're the only car on the road. I feel like I want to wet my pants sometimes because it feels like there's just that one day where a redneck with a fucking meat cleaver will come out and be like, "Oh, looking mighty good, boy," and then start swinging that shit. You're dead.
You ever seen those? You remember that time? It was like a while ago, where it was like this thing that was happening where people were dressed up as clowns. And they were like,
oh my god, the clown shit. Yeah.
Like I actually kind of wouldn't try to like run up on me, see if they would actually try to.
I wouldn't want them to come up there. I would. That's why I wanted to get a gun because like I don't like clowns, and at the same time, I don't know why you're dressed up as a clown trying to harass me like that. That's not going to end well.
Somebody got ran over. I've never seen this video. This dude, somebody tried to do the clown thing to the wrong person. And that person ran him over. They survived, and they were no longer going to do it again, though.
Yeah, I would see like a broken leg is a very valuable lesson.
Yeah, it's a really, really good lesson to learn. Like, don't do stupid shit.
Don't dress up as a clown and assume that
they're not going to run your ass over.
Yeah, they're not going to hurt you. Like, you're just going to it's all going to be laughs and stuff at the end of the day. Like, it may end up one of the days you may end up getting people to laugh at you, but at the same time.
I remember they were trying to do that shit in like, I remember they went to the hood. And they tried to do that shit onto this one dude. This dude pulled his gun out and said, "You better back the fuck out." I was like, pull the gun out. I said, "Hey man, it's Joe.
There's so many clown compilations on the internet that it goes on for days where people just dress up. There was a guy that dressed up as a clown inside somebody's empty house.
Oh god.
And then scared the guy, and the guy shot him.
Why did she do that?
The guy shot the guy. It scared the living shit out of me.
She's kind of like jumped up and started barking. I swear she has like Tourette's. She does bark.
But it's like, if you're a clown and you're in a random empty house, and then somebody's coming in there to move their stuff in, and he pops out with a gun, don't assume the gun's there just for show. Just assume that you may get shot.
Well, I think we're
good to go.
We're good there. Well, we had a long talk. We had an extra like 30, 50 minutes to this. Yeah. We had an extra almost whole hour to this. So you can obviously remember you can follow us on social medias, Geeks and Rebels on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can follow me at StormLeo25 on Instagram and Twitter. And
you can follow me on Evil Monkey 11107 on Instagram and Twitter, and I think maybe Facebook. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But if you guys are following me, I do put pictures out on Instagram. And it takes me time to edit them, but on my Twitter there's more access to what I do on Twitter and my videos on there. So if you want to see what I've been doing online with my friends and all the crazy shit that we've been doing on Red Dead. There's a lot of lately there just have been a lot of Red Dead, but I've been kind of 50-50 between Red Dead and Ghost Recon Wildlands. So soon you're going to see me put more videos up of Wildlands and some crazy videos of us doing crazy shit. So
yeah,
I want to let you guys know Twitter's where it's at, and then I'll put my edited pictures of Red Dead and whatever I put out together on my Instagram. So that's about it.
Also, I almost forgot. We are also on the Amino app too. We can follow us. I'll just post mostly pictures, mostly on the cosplay page. We are on like the comics, and we are on the. I know we're on comics and cosplay, and I know there's like a third one, but I don't particularly like.
No, too much.
Yeah, like just kind of like it was comics, and manga, and then
it'll categorize us to whatever.
All these different categories. You can always tell if it's me because there's a picture of a black guy and Green Arrow.
So like and follow us, and like us.
Hey, don't forget we do take questions. I know we're supposed to get questions.
And comment.
Yeah.
Whatever you guys want to know, we'll try to get to it as much as we can, and keep the views up, man. We definitely need it and appreciate it, and we appreciate you guys.
All right. We'll see you guys later.